One night I prayed to God, and I asked Him to take away the enemies from my life. Before you know it, I started losing friends.
Kung Fu fighting is ongoing. Don't ever hope to master all of them. So be careful.
Kaijus, what's up? It's your brother again, Kaiju Kong, aka 2K, emerging from the depths of sweet solitude to bring you some more Sigma, soul sustenance. Alright, what am I saying? The first video of the year 2021, New Year, starting things off right by helping you guys out on your own personal journey. Let me start out with a fun fact. I've seen some comments and at least some DMs where they were trying to guess why I do this in the beginning of the video, 2K. Is there a meaning behind it? Is there a reason behind it? Or it's just to look hip, you know, like the usual, like, hey, what's up, man, what's up? No, I rarely do things for no reason, and this is one example of that. What does it mean? Two, and K. In American Sign Language, the sign language for K is this or this. So 2K makes sense. So that's fun fact done. Now for today's question and answer session. Today's question comes from a brother named Jane B. Shout out to you, my friend. And he said, hey, I need some insight about how to handle being around family as a Sigma. I feel very comfortable being by myself and not reaching out for or seeing family for months at a time, but I can tell they resent me for it and feel a type of way. I've explained many times that I prefer to be by myself and I don't really talk to anyone, but they take it personally and have expectations for me to have a wife and kids, but that doesn't interest me. I'm tired of trying to explain myself and having to deal with the negative energy I get when I'm around them. So how do you deal with family if you go through the same thing? That's a great question, my friend. Let me start off by saying that I do not know your family personally, so I'm going to be very careful in answering this, and I'm going to do it in a twofold manner. What you're facing now will depend on which advice you take. Now, the first lens I'm going to be looking at it is from the lens of your family does not care about you, or you felt that your family did not support you throughout your childhood. And then the second lens I'm going to be looking at it is through the lens of your family. You feel that your family does genuinely care for you and did support you throughout your childhood. So the first one, if your family does not care about you, the advice may sound extreme, but let me expand on it. My simple advice is, if your family doesn't care about you, don't care about them. It's like a company. Remember, Sigma males, you are your own hierarchy. It's like you are your own company. And in companies, they have this boardroom table. Who are invited to the boardroom? Who are invited to talk and give their opinions on how the company is supposed to be run? The shareholders, the investors. If your parents did not invest jack shit in you, didn't give you the time of day, didn't invest a single cent, didn't care for you when you were down, they're not investors, they're not shareholders. If they're not investors, they're not shareholders, they do not deserve the right to sit at the boardroom table, to plan your future, to plan your aspirations, to give you their opinions of how you should continue on your life, on your personal journey. Once you're old enough and mature enough to establish your own identity, to establish your own goals and establish your own lifestyle and how you want to move forward in your own life, do not care about what they have to say about what you have to do with your own life. But of course, do not care to an extent. Don't take it to extremists. Don't take it to the extremes. Care still about what they have to say, because of course, some people, they may give you good advice every now and then, so it's worth listening to what they have to say. But if things are not congruent with what you feel with your beliefs, if you feel like they're just dragging you down, then it's better just to cut them out. And as I said, why do they deserve a seat at your table? They do not deserve the right to speak their mind because they were pretty much not there during your life. There is this quote that I want to also include here that I got from a song, and as soon as I heard it from that song, I was like, wow, that's really, really deep. Now the song is Who You're Around by Meek Mill, and it starts right there. The beginning of the song, it said, one night I prayed to God, and I asked Him to take away the enemies from my life. Before you know it, I started losing friends. Somebody who you're around wants to clip your wings and shoot you down. But it's okay to keep enemies close as long as you know. Just make sure you know who you're around. That's very powerful words, my friends. And it means that those who want to hold you captive, those who hold you down the most, tend to be those who are close to you. Those who walk beside you. Your close friends, even family members, they're there. They hold you down, they tell you, oh, that's not for you, oh, be realistic. Most of it is they are reflecting their own limiting beliefs, their own fears, their own anxieties, their own failures on you. Just because they were not able to achieve it in life, just because they were scared of having to do it, they would tell you their own fears to try to make you afraid and try to make you not go through that same pain. But perhaps you're made of different stuff. You're not the same as them. You probably go through it and you're going to be successful. So you can listen to them, take their words into account, but there is a certain extent of I do not give a fuck, and you still have to do it. If that's really what you want to do it, go for it. Don't let them scare you. And if you fail, at least you failed and you can tell yourself, I tried. Because you tried and you failed, you came out stronger, you came out the wiser. So it's not a failure, it's also a success when you look at it the proper way. And even the song says, it's okay to keep enemies close as long as you know, just make sure you know who you're around. So those you keep around you, your friends, your family, watch them closely. Make sure that you don't get stabbed in the back. If you get stabbed, make sure that at least it's in the front. You know who's doing it and why they're doing it. Remember, haters, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but this is very important. Haters may not necessarily be those people who directly hate against you and say, ah, you're bullshit, ah, you're stupid, ah, you're an idiot. Most haters are silent haters. How do you tell who the haters are? When you succeed in life, when you win, when you do something cool in your life, look around to see who is not clapping. Those who are clapping are your true friends, keep them around. But those who are not clapping, why are they not clapping? That means they're not on your side. They are, in other words, haters. They're just secretly envious of you, hoping that you fail. And because they saw that you won, they shut up. It's like for those of you who watch sports, when you see that your team that you're banking on wins, what do? You're not there looking in the bleachers just looking at your team winning and scoring the goal. No, you're actually there, woo! You're like, woo! Putting your shirt over your head, woo! You're actually screaming at the top of your lungs. That's how your friends, those who support you, will react. So when when the team wins and you look at the bleachers and you see those who are not cheering, you will register that those who are not cheering, those who are not clapping, those with no reaction, are actually, you would think that they were of the opposite team, not on the same side. It's the same thing with haters in your own life, my friends. The best thing to do is to cut them out mentally if you cannot do it physically. As long as you know who the haters are, it's fine to keep them around. Just do not, as I said, do not allow them to be mental shareholders or mental investors on your boardroom table. If they do not give a shit about you, if they do not invest directly in your own life, then do not allow them to have a say in your own life. You are your own corporation, you are on your own hierarchy, you get to choose who sits at the boardroom table. You have your own vision in life. If you're McDonald's and you wanted to do takeaway service and all of a sudden they have one stupid guy wants a McDonald's but gourmet and a 5-star Michelin star, kick him out. You are the head of the boardroom table. You are the head of the company. And if you have your vision set right, if some guy does not align with it, kick him out. Him or her out. Alright, so that's from the lens of your family does not care about you. Now, let me approach it from the lens of your family does care about you. And I think that's the case here from what you wrote. Because they genuinely are worried about you and they resent you for staying out too long. Now, for most people, majority as we know are extroverts and it's hard for them to understand why introverts are the way that we are. And especially like Sigma males, we like solitude. We are like monks. General population, they laugh at the lifestyle of monks. They do not comprehend how there can be such a thing as a desert father who spends majority of their life in solitude in the desert. It's incomprehensible to majority of the people. So when they look at you, who likes that type of lifestyle, they are naturally worried. If they care about you, they are naturally worried. Because of course, when your parents some part of your pride is attributed to the success of your children. So naturally, they do not want you to end up a failure, because you ending up as a failure kind of reflects badly and kind of reflects on them, on their failure as a parent. The most clear-cut advice I can give to you at this point is make sure that you achieve results. In your solitude, make sure that you're successful. Make sure that you go after your goals and you're achieving the things that you told yourself and that you told them that you were going to achieve. You have to set aside some time to really communicate with your parents how you see yourself, how you see your life, what you want in the future, and the steps that you're going to take to achieve that future. And if you explain the way that your current lifestyle will actually help you achieve those goals, as long as your goals are lofty, as long as your goals are good, and the way that you explain the steps that you're going to take through your chosen lifestyle of solitude, parents who care, they will actually give in and say, all right, I have faith in you, try it out. Now I will support you in your chosen lifestyle. Now I'm going to clarify this with an analogy. A long time ago when men used to hunt, they would have to separate themselves from the tribe. They would have to go out in hunting groups or go out by themselves into the wilderness, into the wild, to hunt for prey, for game, for food, and then bring it back to their society or bring it back to their family. Of course, as a family, the family would prefer that the man or whoever's the breadwinner or who goes to hunt the bacon would stay in the family. But if you can explain to your family the reason why you're going out into solitude is to hunt, and you provide the results that when you do come back or when you do show up, you have something over your shoulder, which is money or which is the bacon, then they would be happy for you. They would understand why you go out. Because the same thing also applies. If this same hunter goes out and separates himself from the tribe, from his family, he does not hunt. All he does is sitting under the tree, does nothing. He comes back empty-handed. The problem is that I feel that's what your parents may be worried about. They're worried that you're just out there by yourself, under the tree, sitting under the tree, or they're worried that you're out there by yourself, struggling to hunt, yet not able to hunt because you're alone or you don't have the support or you don't have a hunting party with you. Now, this is where listening for input and filtering their messages really comes in handy, because when you're discussing your strategy, they may offer points because they're older than you. They have more wisdom and more life experience. So they may see life from a bigger perspective. They may see the pitfalls where you may not see the pitfalls. As you're discussing your strategy, they may insert some insight, some input that may make you realize like, oh yeah, this strategy needs to change, or this strategy needs to not be a strategy. Take it all in, but filter them properly, because they may approach your standpoint with some bias or some fears of their own. I'll let you be the judge. So that's number one, communication. And then number two, make sure that there are results for your chosen way of lifestyle, because you can always have the strategy, you can always have the talk and have the talk, but if you have nothing to show, they're pretty much going to keep on pounding you down and saying, why are you doing this? Oh, you're such a failure. Oh, they will keep resenting you. As I said, with a Sigma male, we want to stay low key. The thing is, with family, it's different. You grew up with that family, therefore they already know that you exist. As a Sigma male, when you fly low key, it's usually low key to people who don't really know you. To companies who, if you're a freelancer, you're building your own organization, you want to build your own organization in a way that you do not pose yourself as a threat to bigger companies. Because once bigger companies see you on the radar as a small company, as a small freelance organization, they will beat you down as a threat before you even grow. So it's wise to grow underneath the radar without them knowing, until you grow to such an extent where it's harder for them to take you down, so to speak. But with the case of the family, you were born in that family. They know that you existed already. So once you go low key, once you become mature enough to establish your own identity, to know who you are and to know your goals, it's like you're a plane flying on the radar in the family. All of a sudden you decided to go underneath the radar. So it's like you're like on the radar, 10 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old. And then once you hit 21, they're wondering, hey, where the hell did he go? You see something on the radar, the beeps on the radar, and then it disappears. What do you think the people watching the radar will do? They'll like look at it and like, oh well, okay, go back to the north. No, they would see that as a threat. They would even become more alerted that something disappeared. They would then shine the spotlight on you, and that's something that a Sigma male does not like. So you have to approach this with a sort of finesse. You have to know when to be low-key and when not to be low-key, because sometimes when you are low-key in the wrong context or low-key in the wrong circumstances, the spotlight tends to shine on you even more, if you know what I mean. There is more attention, there is more bother, the people try to meddle in your affairs even more, they try to look at what you're doing even more. But like in my case, finesse means that you are low-key in your goals, in your true aspirations in life, but you present yourself to the world, to your family, in a normal way. It's like you're an NPC. The NPCs look at you and they're like, that's an NPC. But when they look away, then you hustle. When they look back at you, you're like, hey, how are you, man? I'm good. They look away. That's when you hustle. That's when you work hard. That's when you can. That's the definition for me of being low-key. Low-key in such an extent that you pretend to be one thing. You're an NPC in one sense, so you do not attract too much attention when it's not yet necessary, but keep working on your goals without other people noticing. And then the results speak for you, my friends. That's how it's supposed to be done. So I think this topic is going on longer than I wanted it to. I hope this helped you, my friend. Remember, I do not know exactly what you're going through. Either your family cares for you, that's one way of approaching it, or your family does not care about you, another way of approaching it. So if this message resonated with you, do leave a like and share this message with someone that you feel is going through the same situation in life. Comment your thoughts down below and subscribe if you haven't already. This is the channel for the Sigma males, the lone wolves, and the tigers for you out there. Of course, most people will not know what the tigers are. They would know lone wolves, they know Sigma males, but I was thinking, most people are wondering, lone wolves, yeah, that's me, tigers. Tigers, what the fuck is that? This guy's going crazy. But anyway, this is Kaiju Kong signing off. Thank you very much for joining me, my brothers. Till next time, stay strong and take care.